Hello. I'm Dr. John, and this is the channel where health and education meet. Have you ever tried to create a new habit but ended up quitting halfway? Do you feel like you lack discipline to study, work, or even take care of your health? The problem isn't you, it's your brain, which is addicted to instant rewards. But the good news is, there's a method to reprogram your mind and finally gain true discipline. In this video, I'm going to guide you through a 30-day challenge that will reset your brain, eliminate addictive distractions, and make discipline a natural part of your life. No more short-lived motivation. We'll use science to change the way your mind works, so you can be productive effortlessly. If you want more mental clarity, better control over your actions, and most importantly, to stop procrastinating and see real results, stick with me until the end, because I'll show you a simple, practical step-by-step plan to make this happen. Ready? Let's get started. Most people think that willpower alone is enough to create a new habit, but that's the first trap. The human brain is programmed to seek the path of least resistance, which means it will always try to resist changes that require extra energy. That's why, when trying to wake up earlier, study every day, or eat better, many people give up before even completing a week. The problem isn't a lack of discipline, it's the absence of a system that makes this new habit easy and natural. Another common mistake is relying solely on motivation. That initial excitement of starting something new doesn't last long because motivation is volatile, it comes and goes. Think of how many times you've bought a book thinking it would change your life, but after a few chapters, you put it down. That's because motivation doesn't build habits, repetition does. The secret is turning small actions into something automatic, without depending on the enthusiasm of the moment. Additionally, many people fail because they set vague and unrealistic goals. Saying, "I'll start exercising," isn't enough. The brain needs something more concrete. Instead, a more effective approach would be, "I will walk for 15 minutes every day at 7 a.m. When the rules are clear and simple, mental resistance decreases. This is where the concept of mental reset comes in, allowing you to reprogram your brain so that discipline is no longer a daily struggle but something natural. Imagine if you could press a button and reset your brain, clearing out bad patterns and installing new habits effortlessly. The mental reset is exactly that, a strategic process to reconfigure how your brain responds to daily stimuli. Instead of fighting procrastination or relying on motivation, you learn to condition your brain to operate in discipline mode. This concept is based on neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new neural connections and replace destructive patterns with productive behaviors. The secret of the mental reset is in eliminating triggers that reinforce bad habits and replacing them with stimuli that promote discipline. For example, if social media distracts you, a simple change might be leaving your phone in another room while you work. Small adjustments like this help the brain adapt to a new behavior pattern without relying on willpower. After all, habits aren't broken by force, but replaced by better, more advantageous ones. This process doesn't happen overnight, but with a structured method, the results appear quickly. The idea is to create an environment where doing the right thing is easier than giving in to procrastination. And that's exactly what the challenge rules will help you build, a practical step-by-step guide so that your brain learns to operate with more clarity and discipline. The rules of the challenge are simple but powerful. First, you'll eliminate the most obvious distractions that take you away from focus, like social media and other addictive habits that consume your time. For example, set specific times to check your social media, and outside of those times, keep your phone out of reach. This creates a more productive environment, less prone to external interruptions. It's not about detaching, but establishing clear boundaries to control what enters your mind. Additionally, the challenge will help you establish small but consistent daily habits. Every day will be an opportunity to move forward. If you're already trying to wake up earlier, for example, the challenge will guide you to make this happen every day without fail, creating a solid routine. And remember, these habits should be simple and sustainable. There's no point in trying to change everything at once. The key is to start small and gradually increase as your brain adapts. Finally, smart rewards are part of the challenge. When you reach each daily or weekly goal, you allow yourself a healthy reward. It could be something simple, like watching an episode of your favorite show or enjoying a nice coffee. These rewards create a positive cycle in your brain, associated with achieving your goals. And that's how, over the course of the challenge, you'll begin to solidify new habits in a gradual but constant way. In the first week of the challenge, you'll take the first step to clear your mind of the most harmful distractions, the dopamine detox. This means reducing or eliminating activities that release large amounts of dopamine quickly, such as social media, short videos, and even excessive sugar consumption. The goal isn't to spend a week without pleasure, but to teach your brain to focus on more productive and lasting activities. Imagine that, by reducing access to these sources of instant gratification, you'll relearn to savor the satisfaction that comes from sustained effort. A practical example: if you spend hours on social media, set a specific time goal to browse it, say 30 minutes a day. This already creates a significant difference in your focus. With this detox, you'll begin to realize that, instead of giving in to fleeting pleasure, you'll feel more motivated to engage in more challenging activities, like studying or working on a project. Your brain will begin to get used to longer-lasting pleasure and rewards that require more effort but bring much more significant returns in the long run. Another important aspect of the dopamine detox is becoming aware of what fuels these habits. You will become more attentive to what attracts you and understand where distractions come from. From this awareness, it will be easier to eliminate what is toxic and cultivate a routine that favors discipline and focus. This change will start putting you on the path to transformation, and by next week, you'll be ready to take the next steps and begin building true discipline. After the dopamine detox, it's time to start building discipline in a solid way. In this second week, the focus will be on creating a routine that favors constant and productive practice. Discipline isn't something that comes from nothing, it is shaped by daily repeated actions. You'll notice that by following a consistent plan, discipline begins to become part of your behavior. The key here is to create habits that are as natural as breathing, such as making your bed every day or planning your schedule in the morning. Here's a practical tip: use the micro-habits technique. This means breaking big tasks into small, easy-to-start actions. For example, if your goal is to read more, start with 5 minutes of reading a day, and gradually increase the time. The trick is to make the start of each action simple and irresistible. Your brain will associate these actions with a sense of accomplishment, and discipline will strengthen day by day. Over time, these small actions accumulate and transform into consistent behavior. Another key to building discipline is avoiding procrastination through a simple technique: public commitment. Tell someone you trust about your goals and ask them to hold you accountable. The mere fact of knowing someone is expecting you makes your brain feel more motivated to keep your promises. By doing this, you create a network of accountability that helps you stay on track. And it's through these small steps that true discipline begins to solidify. The third week is a turning point in your challenge because it's when your brain starts resisting change. What you're doing now is no longer new. The first signs of frustration begin to appear. Many give up at this stage, but this is exactly where you must persist. Resistance is natural, as the brain doesn't like change and tries to return to the old, easier, and more familiar behavior patterns. However, if you can overcome this critical phase, you'll be on the path to lasting transformation. A powerful technique during this phase is visualization. When the urge to quit arises, visualize the future you want to achieve. Imagine yourself already living the habit with ease and how it will transform your life. For example, if your goal is to be more productive at work, close your eyes and picture a perfect day where all your tasks are completed, and you feel in control. This helps the brain create a sense of anticipated reward, which reduces resistance to change and boosts motivation to continue. Another trick to get through this phase is the technique of, no matter how slow, the important thing is not to stop. If you feel you can't keep up with the pace you set, reduce the load but don't stop. Instead of quitting entirely, do a little less but consistently. The key here is to understand that even small progress is still progress. And by persisting, the resistance weakens and the new behavior starts to take root. Now we're in the 4th week, where the true transformation begins to take place. You've already overcome the biggest challenges, and you're starting to see the fruits of your discipline. At this stage, the goal is to consolidate the new habits in such a way that they become part of your automatic routine. This means that the action that once required effort is now natural and fluid. Your brain, as it gets used to the new pattern, begins to save the new actions as part of your daily repertoire, and you start acting with more ease and without resistance. The key to consolidation is daily repetition and constant review. To ensure the new habit sticks, take time to reflect on your progress. Ask yourself, what has changed in my life since I started? This moment of self-assessment helps reinforce the new behavior and maintain long-term focus. A good practice is to use a tracking sheet where you mark your daily victories. Each check is a small reminder that you're on the right path. Also, don't forget to celebrate your victories. The brain responds positively to recognition, so when you reach your goals, celebrate in a way that's meaningful to you. It could be something as simple as doing something you enjoy, like going for a walk or taking time for yourself. These small rewards not only reinforce the new habit but also keep your motivation high, ensuring the new behavior sticks long term. And by the end of this 4th week, you'll notice that the new you is on the path to permanent consolidation. Looking at examples of people who've achieved great feats thanks to discipline can be incredibly inspiring. If there's anyone who embodies discipline, it's the famous athlete Michael Jordan. His career is marked by an unwavering commitment to practice and continuous improvement. Jordan didn't just train during regular hours, he dedicated himself to extra workouts, always seeking to elevate his performance. The lesson here is clear: discipline isn't just about doing what's necessary, it's about doing more than expected, even when no one is watching. Another example is writer J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter series. Her journey to becoming one of the world's most successful authors was marked by failures and rejections, but she never gave up. Rowling worked every day, even when motivation was low and it seemed her ideas wouldn't work. She wrote for years with great discipline until she succeeded in launching one of the greatest literary successes in history. Her story teaches us that discipline also involves perseverance in the face of difficulties and the ability to keep going even without seeing immediate results. And of course, we can't forget Elon Musk. The billionaire entrepreneur behind Tesla and SpaceX is known for his extremely disciplined routine, often dividing his day into 5-minute blocks to maximize productivity. Musk has shown that discipline doesn't mean just following a rigid plan, but having an immense focus on your end goal and committing to spending the necessary time to achieve your visions, even if it means working over 80 hours a week. These examples prove that discipline, even at extreme levels, can lead to great accomplishments. Now that you know the steps to reprogram your mind and create lasting habits, it's time to take the next step: apply what you've learned. The biggest secret to success lies in action, and the challenge begins with a choice. Choose to act today, make a commitment to yourself to start your journey of discipline and transformation. Don't wait for the perfect moment because it never comes. The right moment is now, and the power is in your hands. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. By following this plan, you'll become part of a community of people committed to their own growth. If you want more tips and support, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share your journey with us in the comments. Here, we'll keep exchanging experiences and evolving together. Finally, challenge yourself to take one simple step. Choose one discipline action you can implement today and begin to see the impact it will have on your life. Small steps, but consistent, are the key to lasting success. Are you ready to change your life? The first step starts now.